Portions of the following program may have been pre-recorded.
The following program's views, claims, or ideas may not reflect those of WSRR Radio or StylesRebelRadio.com.
In the Steel City, where the rivers align, Lucas and Dom crossing the battle line. Weekday mornings, it's a sportscast scene behind enemy lines in the heart of the dream. Every play discussed, every game analyzed. Cleveland's pride seen through Pittsburgh eyes. Behind enemy lines, where the passion ignites. Cleveland and Pittsburgh battling in sights. Lucas and Dom rise with the sun. Every morning at 10, let the games be fun. Tune into the waves, feel the thrill unfold. Behind enemy lines, stories to be told.
Here we are on another beautiful Monday morning on WSRR Radio on your 10 o'clock Monday morning drive to survive. The 10 o'clock block is filled by this absolutely wonderful show, Behind Enemy Lines. I'm Lucas Durazio, joined as always by Dom Farrow and joined by you as well. Thank you for being here on WSRR Radio, nationally local, meaning we play your local bands on a national stage. 216-859-8699 is the Rebel hotline. Give us a call. Let us know what you want to listen to. Let us know what you think about this show and the others on this beautiful station. We are recording on August 21st. Dom, the big news out of Cleveland this week in the football landscape is that Joe Flacco has officially been named QB1 for week 1 for the Browns. And that's got you, shaking in your boots a little bit as a Pittsburgh fan, or what? You said that you were a little concerned about that game moving forward, huh?
Lucas, I'm happy for you because this is what you wanted. You've been preaching this all offseason. You're like, there's always Flacco. And I doubted it, especially after signing Pickett and then drafting Shador,
trading
Gabriel.
for Pickett, too.
Yeah, even more. They wanted a guy. And so I thought they were doubting Flacco, but turns out that the guy still got something. Hasn't had any preseason reps, I don't believe, but they're still going to go full faith in this guy. And the longer the offseason goes on, and maybe at first I was hating on it. You're right, Lucas. He's the quarterback that I'm most afraid to go against.
He's elite
in that QB room.
He's elite.
Now,
yeah,
I would say
a little backstory. Dom texted me today, and he said, "I have a ticket for you for the Browns at Steelers game." And I said, "Oh, I'm so excited, even though I'm going to be so let down when I watch the Browns get their ass kicked." And he said, "Dom, you said, I don't know. I'm kind of worried about watching Flacco."
It's just like the guy proves that he's timeless. He's up there with Tom Brady. He's up there with some legends for like the consistency and just being able to do it this long. The longevity is basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
But I got to say,
legend.
I think it would be worse losing to Kenny Pickett than losing to Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I would 100% say that as a Steelers fan. But the
Flacco loss is hurt.
Point.
Because I've hated him for like 20 years. 2 decades of my life, I've hated this guy.
Yeah, he's been tormenting the AFC North for a long time. And I mean, I would like to see the win-loss percentage against the Steelers for him, because I feel like obviously both the Ravens and Steelers were really good in that stretch of time that he was the Ravens quarterback.
I mean, I know for a fact that the Steelers definitely won more of those games than they lost, but it was pretty damn close. I'm going to ask.
Obviously the Ravens have turned into the Steelers' biggest rivalry in the conference, or in the division rather, because that's been the best team that has had sustained success.
It says that he's 11-13 all time, 2-1 in the playoffs though, so that's massive. Sorry. Regular season 11-13, playoffs 2-1, overall 13-14.
That's Joe Flacco against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's right.
You got to love it. I mean, I think the further the offseason goes on and the closer we get to football season and the more excited I get to watch NFL football, the same thing happens to me every year, Dom, where I beg myself to keep my expectations low for the Browns every single year. I'm just like, they're going to suck. They're going to be really bad. And the whole time in the back of my head, I'm still thinking it, but there's a part of me every year, there's a part of my brain that gets somehow influenced by going on Twitter or looking at the roster or watching a preseason game where I'm like, just what if, I feel like I said this last year, but like, and I talked about it when we were talking about the over-unders about different teams. Like, what if the Browns were just good this year? Like, what if everyone outperformed their own standard and they played to their max potential? Like, what would that even look like? And I kind of get fired up a little bit and I'm like, maybe this team has the potential to do that. And it happens every year. And I just get kicked down. I get kicked to the curb and then I'm kicked while I'm down. And it's a sad existence, which I feel
That's
like
life
happens
as a
for a
sports
lot
fan.
of NFL franchises.
100%.
Yeah, that's right. Sports in general. That's right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can talk about that too, Dom. What are the biggest seasons where you feel like you just tricked yourself? I can specifically think of Brown seasons before where like I have this, I don't know where it comes from, but some weird confidence. And every year I'm like, I knew that I was being stupid thinking that.
I just gotta say, like, I also like before we get into these like specific going into seasons, like just the existence of being a sports fan is miserable. Because at the end of the year, there's only one team
true.
that wins, and so the odds of that in the NFL, 1 out of 32, pretty damn slim. And then,
So
as
every
soon as
season
the
you're
Super
gonna be
Bowl
upset,
ends,
basically.
as soon as the Super Bowl ends, we pretty much forget about it. Like, I think it's a lot different than it used to be in the past. I think we used to be able to relish a little more in the Super Bowl champions, but now I think NFL is a year-round sport. As soon as the Super Bowl is over, we're moving on to the next thing. We're moving on. Like, just the biggest thing for me is like the difference between the Eagles Super Bowl in, what was that, 2018 versus last year? That one in 2018, I feel like, obviously it was their first Super Bowl, so that's a bigger deal probably, but this past one, I feel like it just moved on so quick. Nobody cares. I don't care. Like, I grew up around a bunch of Eagles fans. I don't care that they won the Super Bowl. It means nothing to me. But when the Steelers won in 2009, it was like, oh my God, like, on top of the world.
I think it's different too. Like, one thing, I think the last couple of Super Bowls people have not been excited for all that much because they've almost been predictable. And I mean, hindsight's always 2020 saying that, like, oh yeah, of course they should have won. They're, whatever. They're the Super Bowl champion. They're a really good team. But like in the last couple of years, the ring culture and the predictability of the different seasons, I feel like, has maybe taken away from it a little bit, where people were like, okay, the Chiefs won because they have Mahomes. Now let's see how many they can win. And people kind of wanted them to see them win 3 this year. And you almost felt like, even though they didn't win because they didn't win their third, rather, people were like, no one cares about the Chiefs anymore. Like they won't be able to do it next year. It's like how quickly people forget. And then the Eagles with this one, it's like, yeah, they should have won. They were they have a dynasty team. Like, they're very, very good. They're stacked. Now, how many can they win? People are already looking on to like, how many are they going to win now? Where I feel like maybe, like, just talking specifically about that example you brought up, maybe it was because that Eagles team seemed like a long shot to win, and they dethroned Tom Brady, and they were it was more of an upset.
That's definitely a good point.
So maybe that one specifically, but I do think that, like, maybe just the top,
it's just like
the same teams being in it every year kind of ends up ruining it a
maybe.
little.
And I kind of like, I was thinking about the Golden State Warriors and that, like, the dynasty run that they had. Like, during it wasn't the coolest thing ever. Like, I feel like most people were like, all right, can we see something different? No one wants to see LeBron versus Steph every single year. But now, like, looking back on it, it's like, that was really the best time. But it also might be me just I don't know, being young. Those were the best times.
Yeah,
so,
preying on nostalgia.
Yeah. So, because like if the Steelers
I
won
do
this year, it
think-
would not mean as much to me as the win in 2009.
Really?
I don't think so.
Wow. I don't know about that.
The
I do
Santonio
think,
Holmes
though-
touchdown catch, the James Harrison
Well, yeah,
pick
that
six.
was-
I mean, nothing will top that. in
But
my
there
life.
would be moments. There would be moments. I think that, well, one, you're missing some of your legends. So, like, now these newer guys have to become legends and stuff like that for the Steelers. But where was I going? I lost my place.
You're saying
I think that even this year when the Chiefs were in the Super Bowl, this is what I was going to say. Like, I was like, I don't really want them to win it because I think it's boring for the same team to win it 3 times. But I was also kind of being like, but in 10 years, in 15 years, in 30 years, when I'm talking to my kids, it would be like historic to be like, yeah, the Chiefs three-peated and I saw them all. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it is something to talk about where I was kind of like, right now I don't want it. But in the long term, it would be kind of cool to be like, yeah, I watched
Maybe.
Patrick Mahomes become the greatest quarterback of all
But
time.
we already saw Tom Brady become the greatest quarterback of all time. I feel like when we're like God willing, 90 years old, that our great grandchildren,
God willing.
will be like basically like, oh my god, you basically saw like Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Like if my
I think that people are going to say that Brady and Mahomes are washed.
no, I'm saying like if my great grandfather saw Babe Ruth and be like, oh my, like that's unbelievable. Like they're gonna think that about us seeing Tom Brady. Mahomes isn't reaching it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but some people are saying now that like, oh, Babe Ruth would have been a bum
Get
in
outta here.
today's game.
I don't
You think
wanna
that
hear
people are going
that.
to be saying that about Tom Brady.
Well, of course, because there's idiots everywhere.
Yeah, true.
Some moron will say that.
True.
Babe Ruth is, yeah, I don't want to hear that. It's outrageous.
I mean, really, the takeaway that I keep coming back to the more and more that I age and be a sports fan, the conclusion that you keep coming back to, Dom, like you said, is that like really being a sports fan sucks.
yeah,
Like we
Why do we
shouldn't
do this?
do it. Like there's no point. You know what I mean? Like,
good morning, everybody.
but yeah, right. There's no point to life. By the way, thank you guys for tuning into WSR. Right? No, I mean, like it's a great distraction. Obviously, I guess if you want to get down to the root of what being a sports fan is, and like it's nice to cheer for something and have a team of or a sense of camaraderie and connectivity and community.
Yeah,
The three big C's. But you do have to, like, I almost want to tell my kids, be like, you know, being a sports fan is gonna suck if you're gonna buy into it.
yeah, like you should just be a math guy. Just be like a math dude.
Yeah.
Forget the sports
You should
stuff.
actually just become a fan of like investing is what I should.
You
tell
should just
my
be a
kid.
fan of
Like,
making money. What are you doing? Get
Yes.
a job. That's probably what I'll say to him.
Yeah, like turn your mindset into a grind set, please.
I'm gonna make him like
By
the
that
Rizzler.
time we'll
Might have him making bags.
That's right. I think honestly, I'll probably just keep a camera on my kid 100% of the time.
GoPro?
24/7 at all times.
GoPro on his
Yeah.
head. That'd be pretty cool.
Yes, that's perfect. Real life POV Rizzler.
Well, I've always wanted to put a GoPro on a dog.
Yeah,
And just let him
I've seen
roam.
those videos. Those are
Yeah.
sick. I like the cat ones.
Yeah.
where it's like a stray cat,
And
in
they
New
fight
York.
other
You see those,
cats.
and they get in. Yeah, I
Yup.
was gonna say, and they get into scraps.
Yup.
It's kind of like, damn, that's kind of the life.
Yeah, I've seen those. Well,
If you want to get totally off the sports talk,
Yeah.
that has been one question that I've had like for a good icebreaker for some people before in the past is like, if you died and you got reincarnated and you got to choose what animal you could be, what would you be? And I honestly feel like being like a cat or a dog,
Not a cat.
kind of would be a chill life.
nah,
You don't want to be a street cat?
not a street.
cool.
Not a street. It's gotta have to be a house cat. That's for sure.
What about an outdoor cat?
No, that's rough.
Like one of the cats that people let out in their backyard and he hunts for mice?
No, I don't want to do that. I'd rather be a dog. If I'm gonna be an outdoor cat, I might as well be a big cat, like a tiger. At that point,
That's true. If you died and they gave you a tablet,
Yeah.
gave you a tablet and said, pick an animal.
Oh.
What do you want to come back as? What would you pick?
It'd be Brother Bear. The movie Brother
Really?
Bear had come back as a
Because I have
bear.
my answer, and I've had
Not black
my
bear,
answer
brown
for a while.
bear.
You don't want to be a black bear.
Brown
I was
bear.
going to say you got to be a grizzly.
Yeah.
Big old brown grizzly bear.
Not a polar bear though. Too cold.
I think even if you only get one shot to be reincarnated as an animal, I've already mastered the land in this current life. So in my future life, I want to now master the skies.
Oh.
And I'm going winged animal.
I thought you were going to take it the opposite way. Go in the seas.
I was going to say, or
Go great white on 'em.
or you master the seas. You go great white. You could do that also. I said that. I was like, I don't want to do land because I've already done land. So I'm either going to do sky. I want a different mode of transportation.
Okay. So you're saying bald eagle?
I'd be a bald eagle or like a peregrine falcon. I don't know if I'm saying that right,
Yeah.
but like these falcons that can fly like 200 miles an
That
hour.
would be pretty cool.
And just dive bomb other birds and kill them and eat them.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Yeah. Now you're talking.
Or you go great white and you explore the deep blue sea.
or a blue whale.
Blue whale.
Yeah, no one's messing with them.
I think that is true. I don't know. I think I wouldn't want to do an aquatic animal because there's just so much of the ocean that is like nothing. It's just literally just water.
Yeah, it'd be lonely and dark down there. Like I'm telling you,
Yeah.
grizzly bear's the way to go. You get to eat salmon. You get to rub your back on trees. You get to swim. You get to
hibernate.
Yeah, and the cubs are pretty cool. You get to climb trees. Really, all around, it's a great deal.
You get to steal picnic sets and eat honey,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Yo-
Just total cartoon bear stuff.
Yogi Bear could be smarter than the average
Yogi
bear. Never know.
That would be spectacular. But I don't know. I feel like I would like to fly. But how long until flying would get old? And I'd just be like,
going
oh, man, this is
200
this
miles
is
an
such hard
hour.
work.
200 miles an hour. I don't think that would get old.
Yeah.
Especially while you're picking up
Yeah,
your
true.
food, picking up your lunch.
You're swooping down and picking up a whole deer. Oh, what a life. Life could be dream.
Great white ain't bad though. Now that we're thinking about it, because you're frightening.
I think I've gone back on great white, and I would go orca if we're going in the water.
Yeah, but have you ever seen a great white in captivity? They can't be. I've actually watched a video on that before. They cannot be held in
Really?
captivity. Like they've tried before, but like they have to roam. They can't do it. Orcas, on the other hand, you've seen the videos.
Yeah, but orcas have culture, and so do dolphins. Did you know that?
Yeah, I have heard that.
Orcas and dolphins are some of the only animals that have culture. They have different accents depending on where they're from in the world.
I've heard that.
So an Australian dolphin will sound different from a California dolphin, which is
As
pretty
you'd
crazy.
expect.
And then orcas, yeah, you would totally expect that. Orcas have culture. They have to teach their young how to hunt for the different, ecosystem that they're in, I guess. Like, I watched a whole animal documentary on this. The one, I forget where it was, but some orcas need to use the waves to basically wash them up onto like a beach type thing, and they get a seal that's waiting up on the beach.
They set them up.
And they have to time the wave right, because if they go at a certain point, they might still get the seal, but then they'll be beached.
Oh my
and
gosh.
there's not enough tide to take them back
And
out,
there's-
and then they'll suffer. They'll
Yeah,
die.
that's awful. Well, to be honest, though,
Yeah.
I think that's less impressive than animals just knowing what to do immediately. Like that blows my mind. Like how, like giraffes will
Yeah.
like give birth and they're walking right
Instinct.
away, or like a horse or something. They're just
Instinct.
walking. They're just running right away. Or like how birds just jump out of a nest and they're just flying. They somehow don't fall.
I think like migration. That to me, that like instinct thing, it's like it doesn't. There's something in my brain doesn't click to where I'm like, how are they knowing what to do for that if they don't have language?
I'd say it's almost more impressive how they stay in like a perfect V shape. How they know that?
Yeah, same thing there.
How are they like
same
that
thing
in
there.
line?
Who's coaching that?
Yeah,
Who's coaching that?
like those boys
Like,
are in
that's-
line.
Yes, that's taking coachability. Like our military trains for years to be able to fly in a V.
Yeah,
And of course, they're doing it in a big, 5-ton metal ship.
and
But
these geese are born, and then right away they know how to fly in a perfect V formation.
they go V. They
Unbelievable.
go flying V out of the womb.
Unbelievable. It really, like, someone drop a comment in the Discord. Like, let us know how that's possible. Or maybe we'll ask
Someone let us know
ChatGPT
how
in the break.
animals work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Talk to Slade.
How do birds know
I
when to
think it's
jump
just-
out and it's time to fly? How do they know?
There's just that instinct.
That animalistic
Like
instinct.
the animal instinct.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's so many terms that I heard as a child that I didn't know what they meant. There's a lot of them in football even where like you hear people describe a quarterback or a player or in any other sport that like you hear the term over and over, but now as you get older you understand what it means.
Mhm.
Animal instinct is one of those that I like more and more. Like as a kid I was just like, yeah, like
Just
they're
be crazy.
They just know how to do it.
Yeah.
Like whatever, they're kind of taught it. But now the more I think about it, it's like, no, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
They're not taught
Yeah.
it. They just know it.
Yeah.
I just still don't. It's just in there.
Yeah.
It's just in their brains. Just like we're in your brains right here on WSRR Radio. Stick with us through the break behind Enemy Lines.
Hi, this is Melissa,
And hey, it's Matt.
coming at you from Synergy Music Studio.
We are a recording and production studio located on the south side near Chicago.
Check us out online at synergymusicstudio.com. We offer recording, mixing, and mastering.
And follow us on Instagram at Synergy Music Studio. Rock hard.
What's the difference between the shirt you're currently wearing and the one that I am? Well, both do their job of concealing us from the outside world and social boundaries. But one little black swoosh makes yours cost nearly double. That red rectangle may not change how warm you are, but it certainly changes the price tag. The truth is, nobody cares about the details. Get to the point with GenericClothes.com. Have a laugh at the big brand clothing company's expense with shirts that simply say sports team, political statement, music band, and more. A shirt for any occasion and the perfect gift. GenericClothes.com.
This is WSRR Radio, and this is Behind Enemy Lines, your Cleveland sports talk show from Pittsburgh, which is brought to you by a Pittsburgh brand, Hellbender Vinyl. Hellbender is Pittsburgh's first and only custom vinyl record pressing plant. It's perfect for local and independent artists, just like the ones we play here on WSRR Radio, who want to take their album release to the next level. Don't settle for a bunch of ones and zeros floating around the internet. Have a physical album release at hellbendervinyl.com. Check them out. Hellbent on quality, hellbent on service, hellbendervinyl.com. Dominic Farrow joins me, Lucas Durazio, here on Behind Enemy Lines on your 10 o'clock block on Monday morning. And we're getting ramped up for the 2025 NFL season. And in that first segment, before we divulged into talking about being reincarnated into different animals and mastering the seas and the air, we talked a little bit about our outlooks looking on into the season and how strangely optimistic you can get the closer the season runs on, as the closer you run into the season, rather. We talked Joe Flacco officially being named the quarterback one of the Browns for 2025, at least to start the year. And I feel like I keep going back and forth from a pessimistic view to an optimistic view, from the realistic view of how bad I think they're going to be to the best case scenario view of how good I think they can be. And I want to hear it from you. Do you get this back and forth from a Steelers fan? Because I feel like you've just seen so many winning seasons. You haven't had a losing season under Mike Tomlin. Do you go back and forth on yourself this much? Or is this just a Browns fan thing?
I mean, it's not really like back and forth between it being like a complete failure of a season. It's like, is this a Super Bowl caliber team? It's like that's really the only question. Like, are they going to be a good team? Are they going to like even be in that conversation? I think that's never a question. But like Super Bowl caliber, that's always on the mind. Is this team built to win a Super Bowl? And I still ask myself that. So yeah, I go back and forth on that. But not on if like, oh, they're gonna win 4 games. It's like, no, they're gonna do something.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate when you have to wonder whether or not your team's going to win 4 games, isn't it? It's
Couldn't imagine that.
It's a battle. I mean, I think, like I said, in this segment, I want to go over our optimistic top ceiling for each of our teams versus our pessimistic bottom of the barrel floor for each team. And we can start in Cleveland with the big news. I think positively, if I want to have a positive outlook on the season, I think that I've mentioned it before on this show. Joe Flacco is an experienced guy who, you kind of mentioned it a couple weeks ago when we talked about the New York Giants over under. Like, Russell Wilson knows how to beat bad teams. And that's something that is really a skill. It sounds like it should be given in the NFL, beating a bad team, but nothing is given in the NFL. And like, you have to obviously show up and beat every team in the league. But you should beat, there are some teams that you should beat. And the fact that you can beat them sometimes does come down to that veteran leadership. And you said Russell Wilson has it, and I think Joe Flacco should have it. I think that with signing Isaiah Bond, it adds hopefully another weapon in this much needing wide receiver core. I mean, going into this before Isaiah Bond got signed, it was like Deontay Johnson's going to be our wide receiver too, or Cedric Tillman, who I think a lot of people really like Cedric Tillman in Cleveland, but like no one is sold on him and super, super confident in him being a solid number 2 guy yet.
He's been promising though.
Yeah, I mean, he's shown flashes, and he's got it looks like he has all the physical tools to be a good, a solid receiver in the NFL. But I just think that this team now, this offense, if Flacco's at the helm and Stefanski's in his bag, like, this offense can do enough to support what should be a really good defense, or hopefully can be a really good defense. And like last week we said, I think their ceiling is like, if everything goes right, 8 or 9 wins. That's kind of my optimistic ceiling for the Browns 2025 season, is 8 or 9 wins.
And it's not an easy schedule either. Like, looking at the first 4 weeks,
no, it is not.
It's going to be really rough. Bengals, Ravens, Packers, Lions. And, I think we can almost, both you and me can agree, that's probably an 0-4 start for the Browns.
Yes, I would agree. I think that the only hope for a win there, honestly, is the Bengals week 1, just because they've, the last couple of years, they've started so slow every single year. It seems like Joe Burrow, the first 5 weeks of every year that he's been healthy, people have been like, oh man, the Bengals are going to have a bad year. And then they usually end up bringing it back, and last year was a little too late.
Yeah, you got to hope for a bad start for the Bengals. You're right. That could be a win there. I would not doubt it.
Did you know
home
that
game
Joe
too?
Flacco,
They got to be fired up.
So I saw a tweet that said Joe Flacco is starting week 1 against the Bengals. This statement was also true in 2008. That's 17 years ago.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to believe.
Yes, it is.
It's close enough.
That's 17 years ago, right? Am I doing the math on that right? That's insane.
Yeah.
He's a stud. You got to love the flag.
He still got it. You got to love
back.
it.
I can't not get behind him. Even though I did think it was kind of a foregone conclusion, I thought that he was going to start. Just something about the fact that they officially named Joe Flacco starter. I was like, let's effing go. Let's effing go. This is going to be awesome.
That's all you needed.
This is the juice that I needed
to get you invested.
Judkin's going to be back, kind of unfortunately. Isaiah Bond, Harold Fannin, David Njoku, Dylan Sampson, Jerome Ford. It can be an exciting offense.
Yeah, but all those guys ain't going to be on the field at the same time. Just name 3 running backs.
No, I know, but I think it'll be a team by committee. I don't think that the top guy, our top receiving guy or our top rushing guy is going to be that much different from our third or fourth in those statistics.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be, if this team's going to be successful,
Judkins
it's
run
going to
away.
be laid out.
I could see Judkins getting a lot of touches this year. Not gonna lie.
I think so. There's actually talk of the Browns looking to trade for a running back right now before the season, which I thought was interesting. I mean,
Who?
a couple of names came up. Like, I guess there's some drama right now in Seattle with Kenneth Walker III. What's going on there? I've heard that
that's
Zach
news to me.
Charbonnet, maybe it's because he looked really good in preseason or something, but people are talking about he might have to start or will start or something or should start.
I mean, he's also a really good back. I haven't seen anything about this yet, but Kenneth Walker's also really good too. I think he's very underrated.
I don't know if he's been talked about in trade talks or what, but all of a sudden there's some interesting trade rumors about Kenneth Walker III. Brian Robinson Jr. also came up. There was there was one other name that I heard that I thought would be interesting. I don't know what they would trade. And I like our stable of backs right now. I think maybe if we put one guy in there that could be like an elite bell cow, maybe Judkins could be that. But I don't know. I would rather have, if we traded Judkins for Kenneth Walker III and a draft pick, we traded a draft pick and Judkins, I wouldn't be mad at that. The Browns. I don't like to say we. I hate when people do that, and I catch myself doing it all the time. But that would be a really interesting addition, and again, just make this offense so much more exciting.
Yeah, no, I agree. It could be interesting. Now,
so Dom,
Brian Robinson is a trade I wouldn't be a fan of.
No, that's one I don't think that there's that much difference from the 3 guys that the Browns have to Brian Robinson Jr., in all honesty. And I like Brian Robinson Jr. I think he is good, but
he's all right. He's all right.
He has his moments. He's got good contact balance. He's strong. He's a strong runner. I like the way he runs the ball, but I don't think that role is too much needed right now for Cleveland. Hopefully, when you have 3 backs who should be, decent. But Dom, I want to hear your optimistic view for the Steelers coming into 2025. Obviously, the big storylines are additions in the offseason in Aaron Rodgers, new quarterback 1 at the helm. And of course, Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith coming over in the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade from Miami. I feel like the ceiling for the Steelers, the sentiment in Pittsburgh is like a cautiously optimistic Super Bowl contender. That's what I feel like Steelers fans around the city are kind of feeling.
I mean, the ceiling in the regular season is 12 wins. And that's pretty darn good.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's at least 5 guaranteed losses on this schedule. You're definitely going to lose 1 or 2 to the Bengals and Ravens. Lions, that's a guaranteed loss, in my opinion. Bills, that's another one. So already there, you're pushing 5. So, but 12 wins is very good. Possibly. The only one I'm worried about really would be the October 12th. Just because it's early in the season. I'm worried about the Steelers going into the season early on just because a lot of these guys haven't had preseason reps. Aaron Rodgers, I think you got to get a little familiar with the Steelers. You got to get a little familiar with your guys that you're working with so when you come out week 1 against the Jets, you're not looking flat. That's another game that worries me. I can see Justin Fields really tormenting the Steelers defense. I just don't know if they're built to stop that. They've done a good job against Lamar. They're different, but back to the point, I think that last year they won 10 games, and this team easily is better than they were last year. Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Russell Wilson. Like you said, adding Jalen Ramsey I think is massive. DK Metcalf, it's even bigger. I mean, DK has never had a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, so I think it's going to be impressive to see. Roman Wilson's excite me. The draft picks have been good overall. Like you said, it's a Super Bowl contender in most people's minds. But then when you start thinking about the Chiefs, the Bills, like how do you get past those teams? And that's really the question at the end of the day for the Steelers. And it's been the question the last several years.
I mean, it's kind of been the question for the entire conference, the whole AFC. It's like we've got these three teams in the Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens really at the top of the division who, you know, no matter what your ceiling is, it's going to have to be above theirs. And that's the standard in the conference, you know, and that's a tough standard to play to because those three teams are juggernauts, you know?
Yeah. Would you say it's the AFC is better than the NFC? I think it's been that way for a long time, but now Eagles and Lions they give Chiefs and Bills a run for their money, but I'd still lean AFC, the top dogs.
I don't know. I think the AFC has a little bit of a fall off after those three teams. Like, who would you say is the fourth best team in the AFC? I think the NFC.
Who are you saying? Who's you're saying is third?
What in the AFC?
Yeah,
the Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens.
Okay, yeah, and then probably the Bengals.
The Bengals are the fourth?
We're just going on paper.
See, that's what I'm saying. I think the Bengals very well could be the fourth best team in the AFC, but I think that there's more consistency in the NFC, or there's more. I don't know. I think it's deeper in the NFC a little bit. Like after the Eagles and the Lions, like I think that the Rams are just as good as the Bengals, and I think that the Rams, you know, are a wild card team.
I don't think so. I don't think the Rams are better than the Bengals. I mean, yeah, they could catch them in a game, but like overall,
I think
the
those
Bengals
two
are
are kind of comparable teams, and maybe I just have them in mind because they played in the Super Bowl against each other.
I don't know. Like, if we're going like third and fourth, Ravens
and the Bengals too. I mean, like top four: Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Bengals, and then the NFC. We're talking. You could argue one or two, like Eagles, Lions, and then what is it? Rams, Bucks. I'd rather take the AFC's top four.
I think I might put the Texans in the top four over the Bengals, and I might
be tweaking.
Take the Broncos too. Maybe
okay. I like the Broncos. I mean, like the Chargers too. The Chargers too. I mean, the AFC's deep.
I don't know. I think we've said the Chargers are going to fall off this year a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I would take the AFC.
Then, like, how deep are we going in the NFC? Because, like, I mean, 49ers.
Commanders are up there now.
Over the years have been pretty good. Commanders for sure. Cowboys are decent. I mean, the NFC North as a whole, really, really good. And I think the Bears are on the rise. Still, I got to lean AFC. I got to. I might be biased here.
This is why they need to bring back the real Pro Bowl. I want to really see, you know, AFC versus NFC, which is better?
Yeah. Well, I would say there are more mid teams in the AFC than there are in the NFC. But I'd say like the weighting overall, I'd say AFC takes it. Chiefs and Bills alone is huge.
I don't know. I might. Oh, yeah.
There's some bad teams in the AFC.
There definitely is.
I think Dolphins are going to be bad.
There definitely are some bad teams. I mean, the Browns are in the AFC, so that kind of.
I like most of the NFC teams outside of the South.
Yeah, the NFC South is.
I like the
really
Bucs.
Bad.
Bucks got me feeling
and I think
nice, as we know. Hammer in the over.
I don't know the names of the division always, but I know who's in them. The Colts, Titans, Jaguars, and who's in that?
That's the AFC
Texans?
South.
Everyone but the Texans in that one are pretty bad. Pretty
bad. For some reason, the Jags, I feel like, could be all right.
We kind of talked about that.
Like I said, Liam Cohen
could be, or last week. This could be the Jaguars' renaissance.
Could be Liam Cohen time in Duval.
So, Dom, what's your pessimistic view for the Steelers? What do you think are the things that could go wrong in your crystal ball for the Steelers this year?
Well, the biggest thing that could go wrong, obviously, like every NFL team, is injuries. Aaron Rodgers going out would be devastating. Losing DK would be devastating. TJ Watt devastating. Like, injuries are just part of the game, and you just got to cross your fingers every year hoping that your team stays healthy enough. But injuries are going to happen regardless. But yeah, if Aaron Rodgers goes down, the season's it's a bust because I don't trust Mason Rudolph. I know a lot of Steelers fans do.
I really don't think it's that
be
bad.
Serviceable, but it's like
plays. I still think they can win 10 games if Mason Rudolph starts for this team. I do.
Really?
I really do.
I feel like it's having Joe Flacco as your quarterback. It's like, yeah, you're going to be competitive. What the heck are you going to win? You're going to win like tight, dumb games versus like the Dolphins that you have no right being in. You have no right making it this tight. You should be beating this team.
I just feel like the last couple of years, that's just been Steeler football, though. Like, it'll kind of be ugly, and the quarterback will do just enough.
That's how it goes.
Win games
it's
and
dirty,
be in the middle
gritty.
of the pack and not have a great draft pick and lose in the first round of the playoffs.
Now, let me give you an alternate spin on the worst take scenario for the Steelers. Because you could argue that having a really bad season could set this team up well for the future. You could argue that the worst case scenario is them winning 8, 9, 10 games.
I do think
losing in the first
long
round,
run,
or even
that is probably bad for the franchise because
it keeps setting us back.
They've traded, especially now, like they're going so. I do feel like I said this a couple weeks ago. Like they're going all in on this year for them because they picked up Aaron Rodgers, obviously at the end of his career. I believe he even said that this is probably his last year. They trade for Jalen Ramsey, who is still an elite corner, but like is getting older. DK Metcalf is older than George Pickens. I think that maybe not too much older. I always feel like DK Metcalf maybe is a little bit older than he is. But
he's probably
I don't want to disrespect him and say that he's old or anything, but like he is older. He's
no spring chicken.
Exactly. I think that winning 7 to 11 games and then getting bounced in the first round of the playoff is worse for them than winning 3 games this year and having a top 10 draft pick.
Yeah, now like I say that right now, but if they only won 3 games this year, I'd be miserable. Like I couldn't imagine.
You'd be in me. You'd be just like me in the doghouse.
I'd be in you. What
Jesus
the heck?
Christ, we have to take a break
what
after
the
that.
Heck?
You can only get that type of innuendo right here behind enemy lines.
What in the world?
If LimeWire taught us anything, your digital music is free and open to piracy, and even manipulation when it comes to digital distribution. So why settle for a bunch of ones and zeros floating around on the internet? Make your release something special with Hellbender Vinyl. Hellbender is one of America's most trusted custom vinyl record pressing plants and works with local artists to get their next release pressed exactly to their liking. So check out Pittsburgh's first and only custom vinyl pressing plant today by visiting hellbendervinyl.com to get started. And don't forget, all customers at Hellbender Vinyl get 5 free test presses at no additional charge. Hellbent on quality, hellbent on service, hellbendervinyl.com.
Welcome back to your final segment of Behind Enemy Lines right here on WSRR Radio, brought to you by Synergy Music Studio based out of Chicago. Synergy Music Studio offers a diverse array of musical services specifically crafted to meet their clients' needs. From recording to mixing and production, discover how they can bring your vision to life at synergymusicstudio.com. Dom, we are getting ramped up into the 2025 NFL season, and there are still a couple of fantasy drafts out there. So we're going to do a little fantasy football type of segment here to get you guys ramped up into the season, get you ready for any remaining fantasy football drafts. Dom, you've got a little game laid out for us. Tell us how this is going to work.
Yeah, so it's going to be a classic fantasy football layup. Me and Lucas are going to draft teams, 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and 1 defense. And so we're going to be getting a random team from
But,
ChatGPT.
yeah, I was going to say the catch.
You get a team, and you can like pick whichever one. You got to be a little strategic here. Where you go? Do you take Jalen Hurts or do you take AJ Brown or Saquon? There's decisions to be made along the way. So I got the prompt ready. Give me a random NFL team. You want to go first or should I?
I was going to say, how do you want to do this? You want to go back and forth?
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, let's go back and forth to pick our team. All right, so we're picking a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end and a defense.
Current players.
Yes, current players, of course.
Of course. What are
Go
we,
ahead,
fools?
Dom. Give me my first team to pick from.
All right. Spin the wheel here. The Arizona Cardinals.
Ooh.
Not the best.
Arizona Cardinals is taking... This is a tough one. I think I'm going to... There's one guy that jumped out in my mind right away. But there's another guy who a lot of people are really high on this year in the tight end position. A lot of people are saying Trey McBride is a number 1 tight end to go. Apparently he's the most, if you go to an advanced analytics, he's the most utilized tight end in the red zone. He's the most targeted or something like that. I don't know, but I got to go Marvin Harrison Jr. I got to stick with my Buckeye.
Okay.
And I think he's due for a big second year with Kyler Murray, hopefully healthy for the entire year. I think that, not that I'm always super high on Kyler Murray, I think those two could be a pretty good combination.
Yeah.
And I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. is just a freak. So
yeah, that's
I'll
a good
take
pick.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
The only critique, I mean, I feel like wide receivers so deep. There are a lot of better receivers than Marvin Harrison Jr. There might be 1 or 2 better tight ends than Trey McBride.
I don't know. I think I would take. I'm holding out on tight end.
All right. We'll see.
For a guy, I'm waiting for a guy. So Dom, your first team is the Seattle Seahawks.
How did you know that?
Oh, I have ChatGPT up for myself. Is that what it said for you too?
I literally just asked it. It said Seattle Seahawks. Like as soon as you said
give me
that,
a random NFL team, and it said Seattle Seahawks.
As soon as it came up, you said that. I was like, how the heck? I thought I was sharing my screen for a second.
No.
That's wild. Seahawks. So you could go JSN. You could go Cooper Kupp. If we're thinking but if we're just going into this season, it can't be Kupp.
We could talk. You could take a guy that we've already talked about on this show today.
Nah, not Kenny. I don't hate it.
Charbs?
Not Charbs. I gotta take JSN.
Yeah, you're going wide receiver as well.
Yeah.
You just said you got to stick out. There's so many you can hold out for all these wide receivers, and you didn't do it.
Yeah, but no one else on the Seahawks excites me quite as much as him. And like you're saying, we got to stick with the Buckeyes here. So we're going to take
I think
him.
Kenneth Walker III excites me. Maybe more.
There's plenty of running backs that like more than him. All right, let's see your team.
I think he's going to bust out this year. Let's hear who my next team is.
You got the Dolphins.
Ooh. All right. Well, you got to take Achane.
Yeah.
Got to take the home run threat at running back. You know, a single play like that can make your week in fantasy, and he's full of plays like that. So I'll take Achane for my running back.
Yeah, I like that one.
I think he's a little bit overvalued right now, to be honest, on some fantasy boards. Like, some people think he's like one of the top guys to go, top 5. Is he? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I can trust that yet. I feel like, has he really been healthy for a whole season? He's got that ability, but it's all potential. Dom, your next team, Baltimore Ravens.
Okay. That was different than when I got here. I got Broncos. I just had to see if things were really lined up.
That would have been wacky and wild.
The Ravens,
Baltimore Ravens.
That's an instant snap Lamar Jackson. I mean, what are we talking about here? The most dynamic electric player in the league.
Yes, I totally agree.
All right.
I think that obviously too, like when you're drafting fantasy quarterbacks, having a mobile guy is not the most important, but like it just adds so much to your fantasy.
Yeah. It pays dividends in the long run. That's why I like Justin Fields as a late round pick this year. That's just a little sleeper. Little hint for you fellas out there today. Lucas, your next team here, the Green Bay Packers.
Ooh, I gotta go. You gotta Jacobs. You gotta go Jacobs.
Yeah.
He's getting older. We talked about him last week a little bit when we went over the Packers. Like, is he getting too old? Does he have another year in him? But they don't really have any other option at running back, so he kind of has to if they're going to be good this year.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. I think he's a sleeper. He's not really where he's getting drafted, but I think like people don't put him in the same conversation as a lot of these guys. He's been as good as anybody the last 3-4 seasons. So I think that's the right pick there. Jordan Love's just been too up and down. Yeah, you got your RBs. Pretty
have
good
both
too.
My RBs and Achan and Josh Jacobs. Dom, your next team. This one's an interesting one, and you might go to that position that I talked about saving, the Detroit Lions. Do you take Sam Laporta at tight end?
Do you take Laporta, or do you take Amon-Ra, or do you take Jahmyr Gibbs? And guess what?
Or do you take Jameson Williams? Honestly, Jameson Williams might be a better fantasy pick than Amon-Ra St. Brown, I was going to say.
He might be, but I got to take Jahmyr Gibbs.
I was going to say, but I think you go Jahmyr.
Have to. Jahmyr's like a top 6 guy this year going in fantasy, and I think rightfully so. I hope he gets more action this year. I like David Montgomery, but you got to let Jahmyr just be the guy. Let him just feed him.
I hope they don't, because I have David Montgomery and I don't have a deep running back roster, so I kind of need him to get the rock. But I mean,
goal line
if
touches.
I was a coach, I would probably get Jahmyr Gibbs a couple more touches.
He's one of my favorites. I got the 7th overall pick in my draft with my friends. Really hoping he drops there, but I doubt it. Lucas, you just got a great one. The Kansas City Chiefs.
I almost don't know how. I mean, you have to take Mahomes.
Have to.
And I will. I mean, there's no other really option. I wouldn't take Travis Kelce. I mean, I'm sure he'll end up having another good year, but he looks like shit every time I see him in the offseason. Dom, your next one, Tennessee Titans. This one is a tough one.
Yikes. So I guess it's either Tony Pollard or Calvin Ridley. Really, this is not good, folks. I don't like a Jackson Smith and Jigba and Calvin Ridley wide receiver duo at all. And I don't think their defense is that good. Oh, man. I guess I'm going to take their defense because I don't want either of those guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't really either. I mean, I would almost take Tyjae Spears over Tony Pollard.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
My next one, we got under 30 seconds here. So
the Patriots.
Oh, Drake May twin. No, I can't take them. I'll take their defense though.
Okay.
I already took my quarterback. I'll take their defense. Green Bay Packers for you.
I guess I gotta take. I'll take Golden.
Matthew Golden. All right.
Yeah. Why
next
not?
one.
Your next one here. Let's see. I'm sorry, I got distracted. The Saints.
Oh God. It's all bad there. Jimmy Graham for tight end. I don't know.
Hey,
I couldn't even tell you. I mean, I guess I'd have to take Chris Olave. Keep it Buckeyes in the wide receiver room.
Yeah, I like that.
Dom, you got Las Vegas Raiders, which means you're taking Brock Bowers. And I think that just about rounds out our list, and it ends our episode. So thank you guys so much for joining Behind Enemy Lines right here on WSR Radio. Join us again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a good one.
Peace.
The preceding program was a sponsored production. The views, claims, and ideas expressed may not represent those of WSRR Radio.